Hello, I'm your host, Robert Semrow, and I am here doing a moment with an insider with my very good friend, someone who needs no introduction, though I'm going to do it. Harrison Forbes, welcome, my friend.
Robert, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Hey, I want to share with the audience how you got started in the pet industry.
In pets or the pet industry?
Well, that's true, because we'll start with the story of you were a trainer.
I'll do the abbreviated pets part, and then we'll get to the
Please do. They're only going to watch for so long, my friend.
All right. I started working with a pet trainer when I was 8 years old, and it was pre-child labor law, so mom could drop me off at the dog trainer / pet store and not get in trouble, and they could work me like a slave. But, it worked out great. The guy there was one of the original World War II trainers that started the War Dog program back in the 40s. And so while looking back on it today, a lot of the methodology and all that has certainly come a long way.
Sure.
Back in those days, he really knew his stuff. And then his son owned and operated kind of an old style mom and pop, everything under one roof pet store next door. So Saturdays, I worked at the kennel till 12, then he closed down, then I went next door and hung out at the pet store. And so, it gave me a lot of really good insight and a lot of exposure to all different types of pets, birds and fish and snakes and all things besides dogs and cats.
So how did you make the transition from gopher to pet insider?
Well, I actually took a couple of vet courses with a vet in town that taught at the local college and got my veterinary assistant's certification.
Nice.
I passed the
Look
test
at
when
you.
I was 13, but they wouldn't, by law, they couldn't allow me to work there.
Okay.
But it was, great learning the medical side of it, and most of my family's in medicine, for people medicine, so there was a lot of the familiarity crossover there. So I loved working the vet. I really liked surgery and all, but back in those days, veterinary school was, there weren't subspecialties like there are now. So
Okay.
if I was growing up in today's world, I'm sure I would be a vet surgeon.
Wow.
But back then, that was not an option. And there were other aspects of the vet practice that I really did not like. The people bringing in, screaming, hollering. There was just a lot of part of that I just was not my cup of tea. So when I was a teenager, one of my older brothers was in school overseas, and I went over to visit him, and that same trainer arranged for me to go and spend some time with some military dog trainers in Germany that he knew, and that kind of got the bug back then.
Wow. Now, you've done a lot of different things. You've written books, lots of articles, radio host, TV host. When you look at these different things, what are some of the things that you're most proud of?
Probably the things I'm most proud of. I'm proud of getting the book out. That's one of those things that I was never really that interested in, but I do like storytelling, and I feel like as a trainer, through the years on the radio, I found giving people ABC advice only goes so far.
Right.
But when you can weave it into a good story that's a real story and show the progression of the training or maybe the problem solving or something through a story, it really stuck with people, because I would have people come up to me and repeat stories back to me of, hey, this really helped me out. And it was something I had done 10 years before, but people remembered it that way. So I think the storytelling aspect is something that really resonates with pet people.
Now, what are some of the things that you're involved with these days that you're most passionate and proud about?
I'm really excited about a big nonprofit thing that we're going to be launching here in about a month called the Lucy Foundation. And so there'll be a lot more to come on that, a big national charity that I'm involved in that I'm excited about. And then I'm doing iHeartRadio, signed a deal with Clear Channel, so we'll be launching the iHeartRadio channel. And
Congratulations.
Yeah, and I think we're going to be doing some work with PetWorldInsider on that.
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah. So we're going to, I think bringing information and great stories to people through all sorts of mediums like you do and like I do, I think that's what today's pet owner gets the benefit of, the modern technology and all the new things available out there that 20 years ago, you just didn't have that.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things I wanted to ask you, because you've seen it evolve.
Yeah.
What things are you most encouraged by as you've watched this evolution in the pet industry?
I think the sharing of information. I remember back when I started doing my radio show back in the 90s, I had backlash from other trainers that were not happy that I was giving people free advice on the airwaves. There was a lot of pushback from that. And then, when Caesar started his show, he had the same version of that, of backlash from other trainers not happy with it. And so I think now with the internet and all these other kind of free info things out there, people have let go of that and realized the best way for everybody to be a better pet owner and to have a better experience owning a pet and that everyday life integration is through the sharing of information, the goods, the do's, don'ts, all of it.
Absolutely. Now, if you could wave a magic wand and you could just instill your knowledge and wisdom, what would be the 1 or 2 nuggets that you would give to every pet parent?
Use common sense. I think it's not just pets, but we do this with kids. We overthink things a lot of times. And I think people make very small issues big ones, or the solutions a lot of times is right in front of them. If they just step back, take a deep breath and think, okay, why is this dog maybe doing this? What is it that I can do to change this? And usually, a lot of times, people can almost answer their own questions with that.
Absolutely.
With a little bit of prompting. So I think just relax, common sense, and there's a solution for everything.
Absolutely. Well, where can people get more great advice, insights, follow all the great things that you have going on?
Then go to harrisonforbes.com and we'll have the latest stuff that's up and going. And I'm excited about the future, for not just for me, but for all the pet people and all the stuff you're doing. I mean, it's, like I said, for pet owners, it's the best time ever in history to be a pet owner.
Could not agree more. Yeah. Great stuff. Hey, thanks for joining us, my friend. I really appreciate it.
All right.